Hey everyone, Tankenstein here. In this video, I've got your very first gameplay ever on the live server versus other players for the Su-25BM. This is a currently ranked 7 battle rating 11.3 strike aircraft in the Russian air tech tree, and is coming as the top reward for the Summer Extreme Summer Event 2023. And this thing is special because it is the first vehicle in War Thunder's history to have the R-73 infrared air-to-air missiles in the live server. So a few years ago, or a few months ago rather, when the MiG-29 first came out, they tested the R-73 out and the dev server thought that it was overpowered, but I guess they feel like this is the first vehicle that is sufficiently bad enough when it comes to performance to be able to handle it and not give it too much of an edge. Speaking of performance, this has the same exact engines as the Su-25K. So a lot of people were saying, oh, well, the dev blog said it would have had better engines. Nope, it's got the same engines as a 10.0 BR, Su-25, and 25K. Now, it doesn't have, obviously, the same engines as the Su-39, which have around 10% more thrust and weigh a substantial amount less. So that's a little bit disappointing, but again, I guess par for the course. Now, we'll have to wait and see exactly how this is going to perform. This is mainly going to be an air-to-air, like an air-RB sort of gameplay. So I'm going to make this as realistic as possible, of course. I want you guys to, see exactly how this thing performs, if it's good, if it's bad at this BR. Now at 11.3 we are going to be seeing pretty much almost exclusively up tiers, so we'll have to wait and see. But that said, when it comes to the R-73s, let's look at those real quick. You can equip R-60s and R-73s simultaneously, which is really nice. I don't really suspect I'll be getting a lot of kills with these, but looking at the R-73s, these do have a thing called ECCM, which if I'm not mistaken means electronic countermeasures, which should mean that let's say if the enemy uses a flare, this should be able to, hopefully, at least in theory, know that it's a flare and still go for the enemy and shoot them down. Now this has 5.96 kilograms of explosive filler equivalent, whereas this has only 1.35, so it's got 4 times the amount of the R-60MK, which should mean that a kill is more likely with these. These also have 40 Gs of overload. These only have 30. This has a slightly lower launch range, of course, very strange, but is a much better all-aspect lock range of 3.4 kilometers versus this is 2.0 kilometers. So it's just an overall upgrade. It does weigh substantially more, but an overall upgrade nonetheless is a much larger missile. So that said, I've spoken enough. Let's go ahead, get into probably the first ever gameplay. I might be the first person ever to get a kill in a live server with an R-73, so I am stoked. That said, let's get into it. So here we are in the very first match with the Su-25BM, and some people might be saying, why are you equipping these guns? It's going to slow you down. I don't really think it matters all too much when I'm facing these enemies. Like, I may as well just have the higher firepower and feel a little bit better in gunfights, because this again has the base level Su-25 performance, which really sucks. So I'm gonna fire an R-73 on this guy. Thus far, I've only had 1 hit, I think, with the R-73. And another miss. So those ECCMs are not doing very well. They are being tricked like no one's business. Like, this is bad. This is bad. So my first kill with this, I fired... That was literally the first R-60 I fired in my first 3 matches with this. My first one, and it got a kill. The first one, I'm gonna die here. Maybe not. And I got a kill. And I've been firing R-73s this entire damn time, and I have not gotten a single kill. Unbelievable. I've gotten 1 hit with an R-73 in my first 3 matches. Again, it's my first recorded match. I'm fine dying here, of course. Just to kind of go over this with you guys. I've had 3 matches, 6 R-73 fires. 1 of them was a hit, but it was a crit. Meanwhile, I don't know if I ever fired my second R-60MK. I fired 1 R-60MK out of 3 matches. I got a hit and a kill. What the hell? Okay, let's get into another match here. But I'm almost kind of thinking, are the R-73s complete? I'm not sure. Because, I mean, you saw how they went after those flares and all the other distractions like no one's business. Like, they are thus far, not all that impressive. And I don't know if in their current state they should be putting the Su-25BM up to 11.3 BR, but who knows, right? Maybe I'm just having some bad luck. That said, let's get into another match. Okay, so here we are in another match with the Su-25BM, and we have a lot of people in the whatchamacallit in the chat kind of wondering about this plane, but also about my identity. So yes, I am Tankenstein. But regardless, so the R-73s thus far have been immensely, incredibly, just, I mean, disappointing would be a good way to put it. I can't believe it. I almost cannot believe it. And to a point, part of me wants to just fire on this CL-13 so I can get myself an easy kill. Well, hopefully an easy kill with it. Because I've yet to actually get a real kill. Now, one good thing is that these can actually track from a hell of a distance. I mean, like, we're talking, I think I tested it out once, like, around 20 kilometers from behind an enemy aircraft, which is really, really good. But it doesn't really, I mean, is that really going to matter? No, not really. So we have this F4EJ still here. Now, these electronic countermeasures are not, oh my gosh. Like, okay, that was booty chatter on my part, but you saw how that just went right for everything that wasn't the plane. It's absurd. It is absurd.
The enemy is winning.
It's absurd. It's absurd. Like, this more so is an R-73 gameplay, right? Like, this is trying to show you how the R-73s work. And again, every part of this gameplay is to be as honest and truthful as possible. I don't want you guys thinking that this is good, bad, whatever. I don't want you guys seeing this through rose-colored glasses. I'm putting this out here, and I'm not putting out like a 3-kill match, a 4-kill match, just so I can be like, oh, look at me, I'm stunting on these people. No, this is supposed to be an honest gameplay, so you guys can see exactly how good this is. And thus far, the only kill I've ever gotten with this plane that has not been a gun kill has been with the R-60MK. So while this thing definitely feels like it sucks at this BR, you know, at least I'm not that guy with the A7K. And we've got an F-14B on my team, right? So, like, this is a complete up tier and then some for that guy. Anyways, I'm going to be trying something new here. Rather than trying to do some all-aspect head-ons, which is obviously not working, maybe I can catch somebody by surprise. Who knows? Maybe that'll work. You know, of course, we want to test these things out in many different ways. Now, I could go to test drive and be like, oh, well, you know, I can just use it against those MiGs, but the problem is that, or those Sabres, I guess. But the big problem with that is that, you know, they don't fire countermeasures. It'd be kind of a moot point. I would get a kill regardless. So I'm going to go fire on this MiG-29. Okay, he did not go the way I wanted. So that sucks. Let's see if I can get myself a kill versus this CL-13. Yeah! Okay, this is not good. We have ourselves a whole bunch of enemies here. So, who do I want to fire on? Probably, no, that guy is definitely smart. I would fire on this guy, but I really don't think... You know what? Actually, I might fire on him from behind. Let's see. Can I get the hit and can I get the kill? Okay, it's going for him. It's going for him. It's going... And I got the kill! I got an R-73 kill! Yippee-ki-yay! Whoa! I got a second kill! Okay. So that was actually pretty impressive because that thing chased. I mean, it chased that guy down. And then some. I'm pretty impressed by that. Okay. Can I get this guy? Because I know it's closer range. Am I gonna... Nope, probably not. Got a crit, that's what matters, right? Didn't kill him, but I got a crit. Okay. Okay. I'm not too disappointed with that. I'm genuinely not all that disappointed. So I'm going to go back, land. I don't know if the match is still going to be on. But In that instance, where I was behind that guy, and I fired a missile at him, and I don't think he used any countermeasures, it actually worked quite well. And I can't be too upset with that. But of course, now I have to take the long trek back all the way to base with a subsonic aircraft in a completely up-tiered match. So, just to kind of give one final perspective on this thing in an actual match. Typically I do 3 matches, but I'm doing a little more here. And I've decided, you know what, let's go ahead and strip this thing pretty much of everything, right? Like, I don't have any additional guns. I don't have any additional fuel. This has the bare minimum fuel. And so I wanted to go into the match, see if that changes anything at all. Of course, it's not going to make the missiles any better or any worse, but it could make the plane a little bit better. Okay. Was that an enemy plane that just hit me? It looks like it may have been. So I've got this MiG-29 up here. I'm not going to fire on him. I just don't really think that's a good one. However, I do have this MiG-23 right there. I'm going to go fire on him a little. Let's see. Can I get a hit? Ah, I got a crit with the gun. And my plane is really starting to wig out here, but not too bad. Kind of happy with that. So let's see if I can effectively change anything here. I'm being shot up like no one's business. Can I get a kill with that R-73? I can! I got a hit! So, if nothing else, you know, we're looking at missiles that are... okay, I got a kill with the R-73. There's that. So we are looking at a vehicle with Mach 2.5 missiles, right? Those are the R-73s. They are Mach 2.5. The ECCMs do not seem to work. The maximum overload, I'm sure that's accurate, but it doesn't really seem like it's too much better in the R-60MK, at least thus far in gameplay. And as I kind of suspected, I mean, like, this thing can take a lot of hits, and I was being a little bit ignorant there to actual enemy incoming fire. So, which is why I was kind of shot up there without using my countermeasures. But regardless, I don't really think that removing guns and all that is necessarily going to make this thing any better. So let's just go ahead and test this thing out real quick versus ground targets. But I know a lot of people are going to be saying, oh, Tankenstein, you suck. You know, how can you be bad with R-73s? Trust me when I say this, the R-73s thus far do not seem like they perform any differently versus flares than any other missile currently in game. These things are as fast as like an AIM-9E, right? As this guy says down here. It is just very mediocre thus far. And I think one of the main reasons why it was so good on the MiG-29 on the dev server is because those have the helmet-mounted displays where you could aim your camera and just kind of fire like that. You cannot do that here. They have to be targeted directly in front of you. So that said, let's just get into test drive or something and finish up this video. So here we are finally. I'm just going to be doing a real quick test drive here with the 2 weapons that this has that the standard Su-25K does not. So we have the Cab 500KR, which is on the right. That is a TV-guided bomb, and also the KH-29L, which is a TV-guided ATGM. So let's go ahead and just kind of try this thing out here. First and foremost, actually, because we are getting a little closer to that F-86, let's see exactly how far away we can actually fire on him and get a hit. Because I'm really interested in this because, again, in my live fire, my actual gameplay, yeah, I did get a few kills with it, and they were pretty... The ones I got were pretty impressive, but the kills that I didn't get were really unimpressive. Might be a good way to put that, you know? Like, it felt like it should have gotten those kills if this vehicle, if this weapon system is all that it's cracked up to be. It really felt like it should have gotten that. Now, look at that G right off the bat. So this thing is obviously tracking immediately once it comes off the rails, which is pretty damn good. But it's also, you know, it seems like it's getting tricked by flares like no one's business. Okay, so let's actually try to lock on to this enemy vehicle down here. Again, this is a, let's see. Okay, and I'm going to fire now. Drop the bomb. Let's see how well this actually hits. That is, again, the KH-29T. And it seems to be... Okay, yeah, it's adjusting itself, so it's working. And I'm expecting a pinpoint hit right on that vehicle there. Studebaker US 9. There we go. Not too bad. So, that's good. I'm sure people who are better in CAS than I am, at least at this BR, will be able to effectively use that. Now, let's just go try the KH-29L. Now, these vehicles, these weapons are not new to War Thunder. These have been in War Thunder for a while now, but the R-73s, again, are the brand new weapons that we have. So I'm just going to do this and fire it, and that'll be pretty much the end. Okay, there we go. And firing. So it is targeting. It's going to hit and get a kill. So what do I think about this vehicle? Well, there's a lot that I think about it. So the R-73s, they seem okay, but they are not the godsend that a lot of people want them to be. The performance on this is mediocre. I mean, this is a 10.0 BR vehicle, which by itself is only 10.0 BR because it has all-aspect missiles, right? And then you add better all-aspect missiles and better CAS capability, and now all of a sudden it's 11.3? I'm not entirely sure about that. Like, this thing has performance similar to like a 9.0 BR vehicle, pretty much. It's all the way at 11.3 BR. The missiles don't really seem capable of carrying that weight, so I'm not really sure exactly why this is this BR. It might go down in the future. We might see better R-73s in the future. Again, this is like day one for R-73s on the live server, but thus far, this vehicle is pretty unimpressive. I've got hope for the future that this will become a better vehicle over time, but right now, again, it just really doesn't feel all that good to me. So that said, thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe if you don't mind. And I will be doing some CTCV 105 HP gameplay, which is the ground vehicle reward that we will be getting. And I should be releasing that today as well. So that said, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you all on the other side. Take care, everyone.